Hey there, welcome to Trapping the Time. My name is Pablo, and today I'm going to review this Orient Kano, an Orient-style diver combining quality, design and reliability with a very affordable price. Before starting the review, I must say that whenever I think of buying an Orient diver, comes to mind the well-known Caso, a worldwide bestseller, but a watch that is too small for the three of us. Alex has a wrist of 18 and 5, me of 19, and Andre of 19 and 5. That's why we always discard these divers of contained diameter. Of course, I'm always sorry because I love this watch with the green dial. I was looking forward to review one of those watches that don't disappoint you, after the streak that we have been having lately with the Pansera, the Casio AC, and the Alpina. Completely different watches, but that share in my eyes shortcomings that have not allowed me to fall in love with them. Too many buts for this, too many buts for that. That's why I say that I needed to bring to the channel one of those watches that, without being perfect, far from it, do leave a great taste in your mouth. Well, I needed an Orient, a brand that always offers a product whose value is usually above its price. And that is the case of this Kano, a watch with small flaws, but with many more virtues that make it shine, and unlike the others, allows you to gain affection for it. I will start with its price. This watch can be found from 170 to 220 euros on many websites, in different colors and materials. The history of this watch is curious. We were evaluating its purchase, looking for the best offer, knowing that we wanted it in this color, maroon on the bezel and matte black dial. And that's where we were when we got an email from a friend of the channel offering it, because he needed the money and, on Wallapop, 1,000 ads, and those platforms were making him ridiculous offers. He explained that the watch was immaculate, as he had only worn it a couple of times, because apparently it was a bit too big for him, and the price he gave us was 110 euros, which we thought was good, and with the shipping and Wallapop's commission, it came to 122 euros. And it is true that the watch was like new. We hardly deprived ourselves of removing the plastics, you know, that fetishism of debuting a watch. But well, as we have already done it many times, it's not that we missed it. The first thing I thought when I had it in my hand was the usual, "I love you, Orient." Who else can sell an in-house watch with this quality for this price? What other brand takes full care of the design and production, including the caliber of their watches, and then sells them for less than 200 euros? I repeat, with this quality of design, materials and finishes. I think none. It is an analog watch, 3 hands, date, day of the week and rotating bezel. I will not say that it is a diver, only in appearance, because it is functionally null for diving. It has no lumen in the triangle of the bezel, and not having that reference, it is useless for that activity. And it's a shame, because otherwise, screw-down crown and cap, resistance of 20 bars or 200 meters. It would be perfectly functional as a diver, but by not illuminating the bezel, this watch makes it clear that it is not intended for diving professionals. As I am not that I care too much, but I also think that it would not have cost them so much to put a drop of lumen there, especially after seeing the quality of the luminous paint used by Orient. Starting with the dial, I will say that I really like its matte black dial. I don't know if the dark watches haunt me, or if I'm chasing them, but here's another one with a black dial, and the truth is that I love it. It has the second or minute markers painted on the perimeter of the dial, and the hour markers are applied with a rectangular shape, double at 12 o'clock and trimmed at 3 o'clock. They are covered with a luminous paste of outstanding quality, of a green color that shines so bright that it leaves me speechless, especially when I compare it with the Alpina I recently reviewed. There's something here that doesn't add up for me. Anyway, we continue with the dial, and we see that at 3 o'clock it has a longer cut than usual, because this watch is day date. In addition to the day of the month, it also tells you the day of the week, which is not something I miss in any watch. Rather, I will say that I prefer not to have it. But hey, it doesn't look so bad either. What they should do, in my point of view, is to invert them to negative. They would be much better integrated with the black background and the white number, although perhaps they would look worse. What I do like is that the day of the week can be seen in English or Spanish, and that Sunday is marked in red, giving a special air to that day that for some will be of the Lord and for others simply festive, but special in any case. Another thing I do not understand very well is that they have painted those two stripes above and below. They don't look bad on it either, but they give it a cheap watch look. It does not seem to me the most ingenious solution, although I say that aesthetically it does not bother me, but I think those two stripes painted in white are too much. I guess it would be the cheapest solution to integrate these two complications, which, as I said, for my taste should be the other way around, in negative. In this case, I do prefer to sacrifice functionality for aesthetics. That they would look worse, but that they would be better integrated into that matte black dial, where in my eyes the white of the day date is too much. Here you can see how it would look, as we have retouched it with Photoshop. Maybe it looks better as it comes, but I already said that I prefer to sacrifice function for aesthetics in this particular aspect of the watch. Below the 12 o'clock we see the logo of the brand, which is not applied, but you can see some relief, in addition to shine very bright in a steely color, which contrasts sharply with the matte black of the dial. Below we see the brand name, painted in white, and in a following line, in classic italic script, the legend automatic. Above the 6 o'clock we see water resist, in the same classic typography, and below 20 bars in a more modern one. Below the 6 we can read Movement Japan and the caliber reference with difficulty because the font is tiny. And now it's time for the hands. The minute and hour hands emerge from the center. They are black at first but soon show the same finish as the hour indexes. A light-colored matte profile and filled with good lumen. They are sword-shaped, more like gladius I would say, and the hour hand has a diamond-shaped decoration at the tip. It divides the lumen for better identification, and I guess that is its purpose rather than decorative, to distinguish well the hour hand from the minute hand in the dark. I think the second hand is very cool, with that shiny silver finish and that classic shape, with a lot of counterweight and finished in the shape of a dart rather than an arrow. In the triangle that forms prior to the tip also carries lumen, so you can say that check the time in any circumstance is the easiest, because both day and night this watch looks really good. As we can see, this dial has no rehaut, so we can see the metallic color of the inside of the case, ascending vertically to meet the crystal, which is mineral and not sapphire. A pity then. A little more expensive, and with that extra, I think we all would have preferred it. What I don't understand is why they put sapphire on the Kamasu and not on this one. And we come to the bezel, for me the most attractive part of this watch. That color, I do not know whether to say burgundy or maroon, in that satin finish, barely. Reflective, but enough to contrast with the matte black that surrounds it both on the dial and on the rubber strap. It alternates every 10 minutes bars and Arabic numerals, except at 12 o'clock when it has the classic diver's triangle. Dysfunctional in this case for not wearing a damn drop of lumen. And the truth is that I don't get it, Orient. It's not that I'm going to submerge it, at most in the shower, but that lack makes me appreciate it weird. It's a diver, but no. You see, for that nonsense, I would like to understand what the team that designed this watch had in mind. I don't understand why they didn't put a drop of that wonderful lumen in there. even if we never use it. The truth is that it is thus disabled for use without light, and that's not cool. The knurling it has makes it very easy to grip, and its glide is delightful, the most expensive watch. I do not know in which watch I commented that it seems that they are cushioned with a rubber gasket or something like that. The case is that it has a magnificent touch. Yes, too soft for my taste. But not being a diver, it is perfect. It is unidirectional and 120 clicks. And now it's time for the crown, which is screw down, large, with good grip and handling. It is very pleasant to the touch and has very good information return. You immediately notice if you are in the first position just unscrewed when its function is to wind the watch. The next position is for date change if you turn the crown backwards, or changing the day of the week if you turn it forward. The last position is for the time change. As you can see, this caliber incorporates hacking seconds. The touch in any of its positions is very pleasant, especially when winding it feels very well demultiplied and with a gritty feeling when turning the crown. I love it, I'm telling you. Although its finish is not luxurious at all, that laser engraving of the brand's logo doesn't help either. The truth is that its handling is one of the best I have, with a lot of feedback, and that's something I value a lot. Also, externally it is protected by the case, which forms appendages on both sides for this function. And speaking of the case, I would have preferred the finish on the side to be brushed as well, like the lugs on the top. We already know how exposed the belly of the watch is to micro scratches, and well, aesthetically, it is very cool mirror polished, but in practice. On the cover, which is threaded and steel, we can also appreciate that the finish is a poor laser engraving with the two dolphins between waves on a brushed surface, which also welcomes in its perimeter references and legends of the watch. Among others, its caliber, of which I have not spoken, is the F692, an automatic movement that allows manual winding, incorporating second stop, working at 21,600 alternations hour, with a power reserve of plus or minus 40 hours. The strap is made of rubber, with a rubbery touch, different from the Casio, which is more plastic-like. In practice, I do not know which one will be better, but I like this one better. It feels warmer and more natural. It has 3 folds near the handles that allow some flexibility in case of a snag. The strap loop is movable, very wide but also very practical. It holds the excess strap just where you want it. But it doesn't have a quick release pins. And another thing that I don't like too much is that the buckle doesn't have the brand engraved on it. Externally, I mean, it does have a die cut inside and, well, it's not very important, but I prefer the original straps to show the brand in a visible place on the buckle. And speaking of straps, I am more than sure that many of you would never buy this watch because it does not have a steel bracelet. The truth is that in this color combination, maroon bezel and black dial, they only offer it that way with rubber strap. But almost all other colors have bracelets. Although I confess that not only did not matter to me, but I prefer it that way. I am not seduced by the bracelets with the hollow end link and with the metal clasp, which I'm afraid is what the brothers of this one have. If I decide to put a bracelet, I prefer to buy one of higher quality than the one that usually comes standard on these pieces. At this point, I still need to address the measurements of this Orient Kano, which are as follows. 44 millimeters in diameter, 50 millimeters long, 12.9 high, 22 millimeters wide between handles, and weigh 108 grams. Its reference, well, you can read it there. And now the summary with what I like and what I don't like about this watch. On the negative side, few things. I would prefer sapphire crystal. Also the lack of lume on the bezel and the buckle without the external signature of the brand. I don't like too much. I would also prefer the day date to be in negative and to have quick release pins. But well, these are a bit penny-pinching details. On the positive side, well, everything else. Remarkable legibility, excellent lume, a remarkable quality of materials and finishes, and a design that, resembling many, does not copy anyone. This is an in-house watch of very good workmanship with an affordable price. Who else but Orient can give all that for less than 200 euros? At this level, I mean. There are 1,000 cheaper watches, but with these features and this quality, very few. If we were to make a contest to find the best automatic sports watch for less than 200 euros, I think this watch would be very high. The Kamasu or the new Triton of the same brand would not be included in this list, as they are more expensive. If you think there is any watch that can dispute this title of Best Automatic Sports Watch for less than 200 euros, I would like you to leave it in the comments. So would I reject this watch, put it on the waiting list, or buy it? I would buy it for sure. And that's all for today. Thank you very much, as always, for being there. And if you want, see you in the next video. Best regards from the team, and see you soon.